With 2026 World Cup a year away, the USMNT is directionless. The 2026 World Cup has been billed as the opportunity of a lifetime, as a chance for the U.S. men's national team to change soccer in America forever. It will be a month-long moment to captivate a country and lift an entire sport, a moment that everyone for years assumed a rising USMNT would seize with pride. And yet, with the World Cup a year away, the USMNT is directionless. It clumped to a new low on Tuesday night in Nashville. It lost a fourth straight game to Switzerland, 4-0, for the first time since 2007. It failed to record a single shot on target, and it trailed by 4 goals inside 40 minutes at home for the first time ever. It made head coach Maurico Pochettino sigh, repeatedly, perhaps in disbelief, perhaps with alarm. And it made a half-empty stadium boo their brains out. That, astonishingly, is the state of the USMNT with a year to go. 2 years after former head coach Greg Berhalter said the sky's the limit for what many believed was a golden generation of players, they are insipid and astray, uninspired and uninspiring. Many of those prominent players were absent for Tuesday's loss to Switzerland and Saturday's to Turkey, so there are caveats. But they and their dubious effort were responsible for the first 2 losses, in March to Panama and Canada. When they bowed out of these summer friendlies and Gold Cup either to rest, or to recover from injuries, or to compete with their clubs, the hope was that their replacements would fight and light a fire under those far too comfortable regulars. On Saturday, even in defeat, Pochettino was pleased with the newcomers and their passion. A shaky ship had seemingly been steadied. But on Tuesday, hopefully, Pochettino realized that the newbies simply aren't good enough. And as he slumped in his seat, dumbfounded, digesting his 5th loss in 10 games before halftime had even arrived, he looked lost. In fact, for the first time since taking the job in September, the highest-paid coach in program history has sounded lost. After months of calling in his top 24 players and speaking about how he'd need to feel them to mold them into a World Cup contender, he said sometimes we give too much importance to being together. And after months of trying to mold them, he turned this summer, his last potential dress rehearsal for 2026, into something of an open tryout. He began grasping at metaphorical straws. He called in uncapped MLS players who probably won't sniff the World Cup roster. Perhaps he was trying to send a message to the mainstays who let him down in March. Perhaps he genuinely thought Quinn Sullivan or Nathan Harriel could contribute next summer. Either way, this is what he should have done months ago. He has gone about his USMNT rebuild backwards. There was, maybe, a time to open up the player pool. It isn't now. Now, in theory, should have been a time to refine the pool and the processes and systems that will guide the U.S. next summer. Pochettino, his hand partially forced by the absences, hasn't done that. Instead, the first 4 games of 2025 have been little more than an embarrassment. Instead, fans are disillusioned. Apathy was the word former USMNT defender Alexi Lalas used on a Zoom call Tuesday. Instead, the most compelling story swirling around the team is a public spat between Landon Donovan and Christian Pulisic's dad, who seemingly has the support of his son. Instead of rising to meet this unmissable moment, the USMNT plateaued in 2024, and now it is regressing. Its number 1 goalkeeper, Matt Turner, looks cooked. Its attack looks toothless. And Pochettino's vaunted fingerprints are nowhere to be found. His lineups seem incoherent. His cute experiments haven't worked. His messages seem empty. And his task to lift the USMNT to a World Cup quarterfinal or semi seems more daunting than ever.